But it looks as if it won't be long before they're off. So over to Peter O'Sullivan.
You're right, and they're running John, and Wallow Will taking him along from Saxon Farm, and Master Carl, then Gainsay, and behind him El Mansur and Tidworth Tattoo and Numerate, and Ross Fandango, and finally Benfen, and not going a very fast pace. Wallow Will just taking him along at a steady gallop from Saxon Farm, then Gainsay, El Mansur, with Master Carl the outside towards the left of the picture in fourth as they run towards the first flight. Wallow Will from Saxon Farm and Gainsay, Master Carl and Numerate, and Ross Fandango and Benfen, El Mansur and Tidworth Tattoo over the second. And running down to the flight that'll be the last on the next circuit, Wallow Will in the lead from Saxon Farm and Gainsay, El Mansur and Numerate, Master Carl, Tidworth Tattoo, Ross Fandango and Benfen. And very wise to take it steady here, because this ground's very testing for 4-year-old hurdlers in this Edward Courage Memorial Hurdle. With Wallow Will from Saxon Farm and Gainsay and Numerate, Master Carl, El Mansur, Tidworth Tattoo, Benfen on the rails, and Ross Fandango. Three flights down the backstretch. Wallow Will from Saxon Farm, Gainsay, Numerate, Master Carl, El Mansur, Benfen, Tidworth Tattoo, and Ross Fandango. Wallow Will and Bender Hahn deputizing for sidelined John Frankham. Hope you're back with us very soon, John. Wallow Will from Saxon Farm and Gainsay and Numerate, El Mansur, Benfen, Master Carl, Ross Fandango and Tidworth Tattoo. Second in the backstretch, Wallow Will from Saxon Farm, Gainsay, El Mansur and Numerate on the inside, and Ross Fandango taking slightly closer order, Benfen on the inner, then Master Carl, and finally Tidworth Tattoo. The final flight over on the far side, this. Wallow Will from Saxon Farm, Gainsay, Numerate and El Mansur and Benfen and Ross Fandango and Master Carl and Tidworth Tattoo. And a long run now to the first in the straight. And quite closely grouped up front, Wallow Will from Saxon Farm, Numerate and Ross Fandango making quite good progress. Master Carl on the outside of El Mansur, then Benfen. The back marker is Tidworth Tattoo. Racing to the straight. Wallow Will from Saxon Farm, Gainsay, El Mansur, Master Carl, then Numerate on the inside, Ross Fandango, Benfen, Tidworth Tattoo, and still a wide open race with 3 flights left to jump in this Edward Courage Memorial Hurdle. Over on the right of the picture, still in the lead, is Wallow Will from Saxon Farm. Behind them, Benfen, Gainsay, El Mansur, Master Carl quite wide of the others. Wallow Will there in the lead from Benfen, travelling well over on the far rail. In the centre is Saxon Farm, and it's Wallow Will who lands in the lead there from El Mansur, Saxon Farm and Benfen, and it's Wallow Will who's made all the running so far and who looks like staying there as they come down to the final flight. Wallow Will being pressed by Benfen. Wallow Will over from Benfen, Ross Fandango and Saxon Farm as they race into the closing stages. It's Wallow Will being pressed by Benfen, Ross Fandango and Saxon Farm race into the final 150 yards. It's Wallow Will being pressed by Benfen, Saxon Farm finishing strongly, but Wallow Will is holding Benfen. Benfen putting in a great challenge on the near side. It's Wallow Will and Benfen in a photo, and Benfen has just got up for me. Benfen probably just got up from Wallow Will. Ross Fandango and Saxon Farm in a photo for third. Benfen on the near side, Wallow Will on the far side, and Benfen is announced the winner. Wallow Will is second, and the judge has called on a photo for third place between Ross Fandango and Saxon Farm. And so the result of the Edward Courage Memorial Hurdle. First, number 7, Benfen, owned by Mr. F.C. Ballard, trained by Peter Easterby, written by Alan Brown. Second, number 6, Wallow Will, owned by Mrs. UNM Sabalas, trained by Fred Winter, written by Ben de Haan. And a photo for third place. A photo between number 1, Saxon Farm, and number 5, Ross Fandango. What a finish this by this son of Lochnagar, Benfen, as we can review with Richard.
And as they came to the second last, you can see that there are half a dozen in there with a chance. Ben de Haan riding Wallow Will in front. He'd been in front right from the start. He'd quickened it up nicely down the back, although he made a bit of a mess of that, as did Benfen. You can see that the favourite in the light colours is struggling here, and he runs on most courageously. I'm sure he's better on a stiffer track like Cheltenham. But here, Ben de Haan on Wallow Will, going for home, kicks for the last, gets a good jump. Benfen behind him just goes to the top. Alan Brown riding Benfen, and Saxon Farm again really staying on beautifully. He could do with a hill, couldn't he? But it's very, very flat here at Aintree. Meanwhile, Wallow Will has the rail to help him. Ben de Haan deputising for the injured John Frankham and doing a very good job indeed here, really driving for the line. But this little grey by Lochnagar, who was a sprinter on the flat, is finding the foot that he had then, and it pays off too. All the horses and a hard driving here. It's a big prize, a race that they all want to win. Just behind the leading two, you can see Saxon Farm just holding Ross Fandango. But as they go to the line in a driving finish, Alan Brown gets that little bit extra, and he gets the spoils. Wallow Will is second, and I think Saxon Farm may have held on, although we're a few strides away from the line and at an angle.
Alan Brown on his 23rd winner of the season. Number 47 for his master, Peter Easterby. Won the corresponding race for the same owner a little while back with Star Fen. He really showed a turn of foot, particularly on this ground, which is not easy to sprint over. He's 16-1 winner.
Could Dickinson have the first 5 home? Graham Bradley showed great courage and brain to go on from so far out, and it paid off.
Brigorn in the lead from Wayward Lad, Silverbuck and Captain John, and that's how they jump it. Coming to the final fence now, it's going to be an unprecedented Michael Dickinson quartet if they all jump the last fence. Brigorn is in the lead from Captain John, challenging on the near side. Brigorn lands over it, Captain John second, then Wayward Lad racing into the closing stages, and it's Brigorn being challenged by Wayward Lad, Captain John on the near side, Brigorn being pressed now by Captain John, Brigorn striding up to the line to win it. Brigorn wins the Gold Cup, second is Captain John, and third is Wayward Lad, and fourth is going to be Silverbuck. And Mrs. Button Franklin to present the Amoco Jockey of the Month trophy to Graham Bradley. Graham Bradley, who won the Ritz Club Charity Trophy at the Cheltenham National Hunt Festival, where, of course, he not only won the Gold Cup, but won on Saban du Loire. And this, a monthly presentation to the jockeys selected by a panel of racing journalists as the Jockey of the Month.
Well, congratulations, Graham. Amoco Jockey of the Month. What do you get apart from the whip?
100 gallons of petrol, Jonathan, which should get us to the races for the next couple of months, hopefully.
Well done. Now, we've just seen the film of you winning the Gold Cup. When you watch it, do you think that one of your stable companions might be coming to beat you at the last?
Well, I was a little bit worried at the time, but if the winning post had been right at the top of the hill, I think I'd have won 10 lengths. So I wasn't too worried, no, not really.
You thought he'd find a bit more?
Yes, I did, really. The 3 cracks I gave him coming to the last was just to wake him up, really. You know, he idles a little bit in front after he'd been there so long. And he just wanted a couple of cracks to wake him up, really, more than anything. You know, he wasn't tired.
What did the 5 Dickinson jockeys get up to on the night of the Gold Cup?
Well, when we went home, we went to a restaurant in Leeds, a friend of Michael's, and we had a meal there and some champagne. Then Michael went home to bed about 10:30, and all the lads in the yard met together in a pub in Harrogate at the West Park. And we had some more champagne there, and that didn't finish till about 4 o'clock in the morning, I think.
And were you all on parade at 7 o'clock as usual?
Yes, definitely. Mrs. D, that was the last thing she said to me before I left was, "Don't be late for work in the morning, Brad."
And what's the news of Brigorn since the Gold Cup?
Well, he's very well in himself. He's been turned out now, he's been roughed off, so we'll have a long rest until next summer and, you know, go for the Gold Cup again, hopefully.
And, I mean, can you see any of the horses that finished behind you from your stable beating you next year?
Well, I'd be definitely worried about Silver Buck. I don't think he's past his best yet. And I would be worried about Wayward Lad as well. He was nearly roughed off about a month before the Gold Cup, so he's done miraculously well to finish where he did. So I'd definitely be worried about him, especially if the ground was good again.
Well, yesterday you had your first ride over the entry fences, and I have to say it wasn't a very happy experience.
No, that's right. I was a little bit unlucky, actually. I was looking forward to riding over the Liverpool fences all year. And he's a big, bold jumper, and I thought if I get over the first 2 or 3 fences, I thought I'll nearly get round.
I think we can see it on the VTR there now. You're on the far side in the white colours.
That's right, yeah. Well, one loose horse has actually gone through the rails, and the other loose horse has forced me across. And, you know, he has looked to run out, and the last minute he's ducked back inside, and I've gone out the side door. I was unlucky to get carried out, but I was very lucky not to get injured, you know.
It's the first time I've seen a jockey jump the fence much better than this horse.
Yeah, that's right. Ended up in the water as well.
Well, now, of course, on Saturday you ride Political Pop. How do you rate his chances?
I think he's got to go very well. You know, he's got some good form in the past. He finished second in the Hennessy behind Diamond Edge, and he won the Kim Moore at Cheltenham on very soft ground. So he's got some good form. He's schooled very well over a Grand National fence, what we built at home. So he's got the ability and he jumps well. So if he manages the ground all right, you know, I'm hoping to be in the first half dozen if I'm lucky enough to get round.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you very much.
As they jump the fence.